You told me you had a DaVinci painting that would show us the true Grail?
Yep.
Indeed I do. I assume you recognize this?
Okay. Ooh, fancy. A flat screen TV. Okay.
The Last Supper?
Yes. Vinci painted many secrets within it.
Ooh.
Perhaps you can use what we discussed earlier to find a few of them yourself.
I will try.
Oh, great. Oh, there's a V there. So then where's the male symbol? There's a cup over Judas's head.
There is a V shape right in the center between Jesus and John.
Okay.
Robert told me earlier that the V is an ancient symbol for the chalice.
This is quite true, but why would Da Vinci paint a feminine symbol into the Last Supper?
I don't know. It's a painting of 13 men.
Is it?
Were there any women there?
Closer look.
The UV light? No. Oh, there's the picture, or the hidden picture.
Is that an actual image of the Grail?
It's hard to say. It's almost an optical illusion, is it not?
True.
Did Da Vinci mean to say that there was a Grail cup?
Not at all. Since it's an illusion, I think he was saying quite the opposite.
Ooh.
That the idea of the Grail as a cup is the fake story.
It's
And
a
that the
Judas.
real story can be found elsewhere in the painting. It all goes back to the Sangria.
I have never heard of it.
Me
Sure
neither.
you have. You're just used to hearing it called the Holy Grail. Holy Grail is the literal meaning of Sangreal.
Sangreal.
The
Okay.
phrase derives from the French sangral, which evolved to sangreal and was eventually split into two words, sang-real.
Does the word
Cool.
have anything to do with the French word sang, or Spanish sangre meaning blood?
Oh
Ooh.
yes, the Grail has much to do with blood. But not in the way you might think. Let's look over the painting some more.
Sure thing, Professor. What's down here? What's down here? Is there anything down here? No. It would help if these controls didn't float so much. Oh, John. Why did John get highlighted now? Is he a girl?
That is a woman.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise. No mistake either. Leonardo was skilled at painting the difference between the sexes. But our preconceived notion has seen us so powerful that our mind blocks out the incongruity and overrides our eyes.
True.
Who is she?
There are other clues within the painting that may reveal her name. Again.
You can't just tell me. Mary. It's a Mary.
It looks like an M between Jesus and that woman.
A bit too perfect for coincidence, wouldn't you say?
Why is it there?
Ooh, conspiracy
Countless
theories.
Grail-related works contain the hidden letter.
Yeah, I can see that.
Watermarks, underpaintings, or compositional illusions.
God, this guy's voice is quiet.
Stands for matrimonial.
Marriage.
You mean marriage? Jesus was married to this woman?
Their marriage is part of the historical record. These are photocopies of the Nag Hammadi and Dead
Okay.
Sea Scrolls, the earliest Christian records. Troublingly, they do not match up with the Gospels in the Bible.
Ooh.
The Gospel of Philip is always a good place to start. And the companion of the Savior is Mary Magdalene. Christ loved her more than
Yeah.
all the disciples and used to kiss her often.
Ooh.
The rest of the disciples were offended by it and expressed disapproval. They said to him, "Why do you love her more than all of us?"
Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene, the prostitute?
Magdalene was no
Aw.
disciple. That unfortunate misconception is the legacy of a smear campaign launched by the early church to cover up her role as the Holy Grail. The early church needed to convince the world that the mortal prophet Jesus was a divine being.
Yeah, it did.
Therefore, any gospels that described earthly aspects of Jesus' life had to be omitted from the Bible.
That is very true.
Like his marriage.
I think we've got what we need to solve the cryptic, Sophie.
There's more to find in Da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper, if you are interested, of course.
Sure. So we can look for more stuff. But there's Peter. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. The early church, or churches in general, have had to do a lot of smear campaigns. Especially very
Peter
early.
looks like he is threatening Mary.
Peter was definitely one of Mary's detractors. After
Yes.
Jesus died and was reborn, there were many debates over who should continue his church.
That's true.
But Mary can tell you that in her own words. Here, read this passage from her gospel.
She wrote one. Which one?
And Peter said, "Did the Savior really speak with a woman without our knowledge? Are we to turn about and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us?" And Levi answered, "Peter, you have always been hot-tempered. Now I see you contending against the woman like an adversary. If the Savior made her worthy, who are you indeed to reject her?
Got a point there.
Surely the Savior knows her very well. That is why he loved her more than us." So Peter disliked her because Jesus favored Mary over him?
Oh, he was jealous.
Not only that, the stakes were far greater than mere affection.
That's true.
At this point in the Gospels, Jesus suspects he will soon be captured and crucified. So he gives Mary Magdalene instructions on how to carry on his church after he is gone. As a result, Peter expresses his discontent over playing second fiddle to a woman.
Yeah.
Said he was something of a sexist.
This is St. Peter.
In the ancient
The rock
world,
upon
that
which
was
Jesus
normal.
built his church.
The same, except for one catch. According to these unaltered Gospels, it was not Peter to whom Christ gave directions with which to establish the Christian church. It was Mary Magdalene.
Very
You
interesting.
are saying the Christian church was to be carried on by a woman?
That was the plan. Jesus was the original feminist. He intended for the future of his church to be in the hands of his wife.
Interesting. I can definitely see why this movie and book made such a big deal when they came out. So, anyways, back to the Grail.
Earlier, you mentioned that the Sangreal documents told the true story of Christ.
Yes.
You remember? Yes, but as we discussed before, Sangreal derives from Sangreal, or Holy Grail.
Yes.
But in its most ancient, the word Sangreal was divided in a different spot.
Ooh.
Song Real.
Which translates to royal blood.
Ooh.
Precisely.
Because
But whose
Jesus
blood? Christ's?
was a descendant of
There's
David.
at least one more clue to be had in the Last Supper.
Who was Mary Magdalene then? There was something I passed over. Jesus and Mary together.
Mary seems to have nearly as much attention from the apostles as Jesus.
That's
I
true.
hope so. She was a very important woman. Few people realize that Mary Magdalene, in addition to being Christ's right hand, was a powerful woman already.
I was under the impression that Magdalene was poor.
Me too.
Just as many people think Jesus was poor. Yet he was of the house of David, descendant of King Solomon, king of the Jews.
Yeah.
Mary was of the house of Benjamin, also of royal descent.
Ooh.
Magdalene was recast as a whore to erase her powerful bloodline.
But
Wow.
why should the early church care if Magdalene had royal blood?
So that no one would listen about her.
It was not Mary Magdalene's royal blood that concerned the church so much as it was her consorting with Christ. Marrying into the powerful house of Benjamin, Jesus fused two royal bloodlines,
Yep.
creating a potent political union with the potential of making a legitimate claim to the throne, restoring the line of kings as it was under Solomon.
Which would have made the Romans
The
very
legend of
angry.
the Holy Grail is a legend about royal blood. Grail legend speaks of the chalice that held the blood of Christ. It speaks, in fact, of Mary Magdalene, female womb that carried Jesus' royal bloodline.
But how could Christ have a bloodline unless...
He had a baby.
Unless they had a child.
Behold the greatest cover-up in human history. Not
Yeah.
only was Jesus Christ married, but he was a father. Dear Mary Magdalene was the holy vessel. She was the chalice that bore the royal bloodline of Jesus Christ. She was the womb that bore the lineage, and the vine from which the sacred fruit sprang forth.
Then
Ooh.
there must be some way to trace the family line.
Unless they got
Precisely
killed.
what the Priory of Simon has been keeping secret for hundreds of years. Sophie, your grandfather may have been the last man to know the secret lineage of Jesus Christ's bloodline.
Is that why he was killed?
We
Probably.
may never know exactly why someone would murder your grandfather in cold blood.
Well, these are all major plot points, so I'm guessing that, yeah, that's probably why. Wow, cool. Well, the plot is finally explained. And I can definitely see why this caused so much controversy. And why is that guy using 2 canes instead of just using a walker?